Hey everyone, welcome to the Magdred Ambush, the Chapter 3 mission. A lot went down this month, so check out the notes linked in the description for details. One highlight is the Fish of Mystery event on the third weekend. Any 5-star bait you found can be used then to fish for goddess messengers, which are completely busted. Not only are they worth 100 professor experience each, the deified fish meal that you can cook with them after reaching C professor level gives you 450 professor XP. That's more than any other activity you can do around the monastery. On top of that, deified fish is an amazing meal, granting +1 to dex, speed, and defense. The other ingredient is Magdred Kirsch, which you can acquire this early by planting a single Nord salad seed. You can stack cooking bonuses by doing the activity on multiple weekends, so the 2+ defense meals I cooked before that grant me a total of 3 bonus defense. That boost to survivability makes all the enemies here much less scary. This is a Fog of War map where enemies can see where your units are, but you can't see them more than a couple tiles away. That's why we can't see any of them right now. By buying the torch item, then using it, your units can extend their sight radius for 3 turns. Unfortunately, torches are kind of expensive, so I don't want to buy more than one if I can help it. A secondary objective is to keep Catherine and her 2 escorts alive. If you do that, you get a goddess icon and a secret book. If just 2 of them live, you get only the goddess icon. Personally, my goal here is to be able to promote almost everyone in my house to the beginner classes. In order to do that, I want to limit how many kills Catherine snags. She's inevitably going to get a couple, but I want her to do that on my terms, and I'm going to box her out as much as possible. There's a lot to talk about in my roster too. Violet's promoted to Myrmidon. He's the one who's going to carry the torch on turn 1 so that everyone else can see where they're going. Claude got C Authority and C Bows, and I finished his budding talent in Axes. He's a fighter now. Lauren's got D Faith with a lot of choir practice, D Authority with some tutoring, and C Reason with even more tutoring. Now he can heal, he has a magic boosting battalion, and he has a second stronger spell in Sagiti. Ignat's got C Authority, letting him lead the Alliance Knights, and has also made progress on his sword and axe ranks. Lysithea got D Authority like Lawrence, and I've also been plugging away at her Faith rank. I'm not exactly rushing Warp at B Faith, but it's still a good target to shoot for. Marianne worked on her Reason rank and got a little lance training. She can now cast her first black magic spell. Hilda trained in lances and bows, and she also finished her budding talent in armor. Seal speed will be slightly useful, but it's not a game changer or anything. Leonie needs to have C lances before the Chapter 4 mission from Night Kneeler. The soldier class bonus will help her get there. She has also been training axes, and I've just started her on armor. We'll come back to that another time. Linhardt is my mission assistant for this month. He's a really good choice for that because he already comes with Physic, and his healing doesn't interfere with anyone else's experience gains. With C Professor level, I've unlocked Adjutants, and Raphael will be doing that duty for now. He's the one unit who's not going to hit level 5 here. It's unfortunate, but taking him out of the lineup lets me focus experience so that everyone else can hit that benchmark. He also gives bonus damage to Ignatz.
With this...
Like just about every mission for the rest of the game, we'll begin with a stride. I've chosen my starting positions carefully so that it hits as many teammates as possible. First, Violet is able to run due west and use his torch to reveal a lot of enemies in the woods over here. To the greatest extent possible, I want to take these down before Catherine can get to them, and I want to manipulate her into wasting time in these woods. Magic ignores avoid bonuses from terrain, and that's why I'm having Linhardt and Lysithea chip down the closest enemy. After that, Hilda can take him out.
Who, me?
Ready and willing.
Claude can do pretty hefty damage to this archer with just his iron bow, thanks to Hilda's ability and Violet's link bonus.
Let's get to it.
When I move Leonie in, I have her switch Violet's weapons, and then make her use Curve Shot to weaken the archer further.
I stand ready.
Now Lawrence is able to come in and kill a Sagiti. I could have had him stand by Hilda and do this, but going this far into the forest lets him reach an important destination next turn.
Ready anytime.
I put Ignatz where I did for a reason. He draws fire from the archer, but the real hope is that a mercenary in the fog to the north will move down and wait right above that archer. There's a random element to exactly which tile he chooses, but I want him there specifically so I can freeze him next turn. I also need Ignatz to be close enough to reach the tile above the archer. This opening turn is a nightmare because a lot of things can go wrong. I have dicey hit chances, I need enemies to move to the correct spots, and I even need Catherine to get that kill so she'll be in the right place later. Thankfully, things improve on turn 2, particularly because I'm able to do a lot more work on player phase, where I can manipulate my luck a little more. For example, I'm able to equip different weapons just to provide accuracy boosts through linked attacks. I would have Marianne heal Ignatz here, but he dodged the archer, so she's going to patch up that 1 hit point on Leonie instead.
So nice of you. I wonder...
We'll cover you.
Claude's Blaze Gambit is the one that will lock down the mercenary to the north. Through their combined efforts, Hilda, Lawrence, and Byleth are able to kill the other mercenary. This opens the way for Leonie, who can now use her own gambit on the 2 units west of Byleth. She's holding the Golden Deer Bracelet, a reward for Byleth's birthday that boosts Charm by 2. You can also see the stationary Dark Mage in the woods at the center of the map. Killing him clears the fog, but we're not going to do that immediately. Once the fog clears, Catherine runs straight toward the boss with her maximum movement.
That helps.
Ignatz is able not only to kill the wounded archer, but to do so from a position that will also let him damage the mercenary on enemy phase.
Whoa. Thank you.
Hilda kills off the mercenary. She's actually in range of another archer in the fog to the north, so I'll want to switch her to a bow later. Just like in the Chapter 2 mission, I find that archers are sometimes willing to attack from 2 range here, as long as you're not going to do too much damage in return. Ideally, my mages are going to be doing something every turn, and in a lot of cases, that something will be healing. So I want to make sure they can go where they need to go and still have heal targets available when they get there. All my other units are taking damage pretty regularly, so usually this isn't too big a problem.
Thank you.
Ignatz is dumping his mini bow in the convoy so that Claude can pull it out later. Then he snags a kill while adjacent to Byleth, pushing him to level 3. For what I was saying about healing, here's a case in point. When I had Marianne heal Leonie earlier, she could have targeted Claude. And then if Ignatz hadn't gained HP on his level up, Lysithea wouldn't be able to heal anyone from the square below Byleth. That's the best square for her to heal on thanks to the experience bonus. And she can't go to Byleth's right side to heal Hilda because that's in archer range. Claude pulls out that mini bow and switches Hilda to her own bow. The mini bow is useful specifically because it prevents follow-up attacks, and this lets me get another attack in next turn for free. This is the kind of thing I figure out after playing through this map a few times trying to get a good recording. Oftentimes I'll notice that one unit didn't have anything to do, and I'll see if I can leave them a little more work. In this case, Claude's sandbagging allowed Byleth to squeeze in this extra sword hit.
Watch and learn!
I realized at this point that I wanted Ignatz to get his mini bow back, but I forgot to grab it, and Claude can't hand it to him because he needs to move. So I think about the problem for a little bit. Eventually, I decide to dump it back in the convoy.
Lordland. The noble.
Lysithea's in range of another archer here, but she can take the hit.
You're too kind.
Since she equipped Swarm Zeta, her lighter spell, she won't get doubled. I could make her hold heal too. I'm not actually going to feature Linhardt on my team later on, but if it weren't for the DLC, I probably would. After all, he has a good ending with Lysithea. We see here what I was alluding to earlier when I mentioned the Dark Mage. Since we haven't cleared the fog yet, Catherine and her lackeys just inch their way through it. She's in range of another enemy now, though, so it's time to take that mage down and start racing her to the end.
Apologies.
I'm checking damage for the 3 people I want to fight the mini-boss, keeping in mind all the while that Claude and Byleth grant each other +1. I want Claude to end up northwest of the mage, where he'll draw the attention of that enemy that Catherine has almost reached. And now I'm doing that same check for the archer. Here I have much better hit rates, but I want to take the time to be completely sure of what I'm doing before I do it.
I won't let you.
Notice that it's Lysithea who now pulls that mini bow out of the convoy. Ignat still isn't going to get it back yet. It'll be one more turn before it gets returned to him.
Fall.
That Myrmidon southwest of Claude will be able to attack him from a forest tile. By trading, Lawrence can make Claude equip a more accurate bow so that he can hopefully hit despite the terrain advantage. The enemy threat indicators claim the Myrmidon is going to strike Lawrence, but the soldier is going to get in the way.
That helps.
I'm still not set. Well done.
Hilda's seal speed lets Ignatz double with his iron sword for the kill here. It doesn't actually matter whether Claude hits this, it's just worth a couple of points of XP. However, Catherine does need to hit and kill, because I need this guy out of my hair next turn. If she misses, one thing I can try to do is rewind and have Ignatz use Wrath Strike against the archer to finish him in one hit. That will use up one less random number, potentially changing the outcome for Catherine. Marianne is finally able to transfer the mini bow back to Ignatz. After that, she casts Stride for a second time. Most of my team will now be able to rush west and engage the enemies there before Catherine can get to them. I needed that Myrmidon dead because I can't let him beat up Marianne, and I also can't spare any units to deal with him. The main obstacle on my way to the boss is the wall of enemies southeast of him, who each have gambits. I would like to not get hit by them at all, but that really can't be helped, so I have to devise a way to handle them in spite of getting stunned. Before that, I've got to take out the nearby soldiers. The Armored Knight has Armored Blow. If he's attacking someone who will do 0 damage on the counterattack, perhaps because of this ability, he'll choose to do a regular attack instead of using his Gambit. This can be very useful tech. If my units attack from the northwest side, they'll be close enough to help out against the battalion enemies next turn. But Ignatz needs to stay to the east. He'll be working with Marianne and Hilda to battle the enemies we've ignored in the northeastern corner of the map. By defeating this soldier, Lysithea clears the way for Lawrence to run far to the west and duel the fighter there. He'll work up the far west edge of the map, while the others continue on the diagonal. Here, Claude is apparently facing 3 enemies at once, but in fact only 2 can hit him because the other one will get body blocked. They can't run around him to reach his southern or eastern sides.
Lord Lenot.
Claude is slightly unlucky to get hit by the Gambit here, but it's not going to matter. I can handle things regardless. Catherine is close enough to reach the soldier and kill him, but I can cut her off.
Let us be cautious.
First, my mages take out the Armored Knight. Everyone else would have a really hard time with him, but he's pretty weak to magic. I'm leaving Linhardt here for another bit of tech. If enemies can double someone, they will do that instead of using gambits, unless the gambit will kill and the double attack won't. Unfortunately, I screwed this up because I kept Linhardt holding Wind instead of a heavier spell. Still, it'll be fine for him to get frozen because he still has Physic, and I don't care about him seeing combat or earning skill ranks. By occupying this square, Leonie not only shields Lysithea, but also prevents Catherine from reaching the enemy.
It's your call.
And now, Claude equips a steel bow specifically to get himself doubled, just like Linhardt was supposed to. He'll take a little more damage, but he won't get frozen next turn. I knew ahead of time that Hilda and Ignatz had gained enough strength and speed to get this kill with the combination of Hilda's enemy phase counter and Ignatz's attack now. If they hadn't, I'd have to do something different here, probably giving one of these kills to Hilda. She's close enough to level 5 now that I would rather feed those to Ignatz and Marianne if possible.
I could use a break.
With 2 fires and 1 Sagiti left, Lawrence has just enough in his arsenal to take out this fighter himself. But if he hadn't gained defense, he'd be low enough on health that he'd have to heal himself now and get help with the kill in a little bit. I also want to activate the other fighter, the one to the right of Lonato. But once again I want to prevent Catherine from stealing the kill on ally phase.
Sorry, ready and willing.
As we'll see in a bit, putting Claude here is an error. You know that thing I said a minute ago about blocking Catherine? I didn't do it.
I want to go home. Oh, nice! You're too kind.
Too easy. Yeah.
Now you can see what I did wrong. If the fighter chose to attack Claude from the west, then Catherine would be able to charge through the forest and reach her. But hey, you get to watch me diagnose the problem in real time and decide what I should have done differently.
It's your call.
Battle.
Thanks for that. Ready and willing.
The solution is to put Claude up here, instead of hitting with curved shot from one space to the left. I also decided that I'd rather give this kill to Leone, and I can do that now because Claude is doing one less damage without curved shot. Now when the fighter goes after Claude, it doesn't matter which side she chooses. If she attacks from the north, then Catherine is too far away, and if she hits from the west, then Leone body blocks, and Catherine doesn't have enough movement to get around to the open left side.
Ready anytime.
Oh, nice!
I'm a bit uneasy.
Who, me? Thanks!
Thank you.
I guess... Leave it to me.
That helps. I stand ready. Stay focused.
I've almost gotten everyone to level 5 by now. Beyond that, I'm going to continue boosting Byleth, Claude, and Leone. I want them all to be able to promote again by the time the Chapter 5 mission rolls around. The extra stats and abilities they'll have in intermediate classes, and particularly the additional movement, will be very helpful there.
Sorry.
You have been...
Ready anytime.
I can have Ignatz defeat this archer from outside the soldier's range, forcing the soldier to attack Hilda. But Hilda's only 1 XP away from level 5, so she'll get there with just one more round of combat. That means I'm actually better off letting the soldier fight Ignatz on enemy phase. Hilda can then get her last hit in next turn. Over on the west side, I can squeeze in some extra heals and start chipping away at Lonato. Catherine will never attempt to engage the boss, but her 2 Myrmidon friends will. Luckily, they can survive a fight with him, and it's impossible for green units to kill bosses. They always leave the boss with 1 HP in this game.
Thanks.
I thought...
I don't want anyone to fight Lonato at melee range right now, because he has a melee range gambit. He doesn't move, but if you leave anyone next to him, he will use it.
Appreciated.
My eff-
You wanna...
Ultimately, Byleth has the highest priority for the boss kill. He actually needs to reach level 10 during the Chapter 4 mission, whereas Claude and Leone can afford to be a little short. They'll have a chance to make up the difference with battle quests in Chapter 5. As I said, by contributing a little more chip damage here, Hilda will be able to level up. Then Ignatz can snag the kill and reach level 5 himself. Everyone else I've deployed is already there. Raphael happens to hit level 4 at the same time. He's getting deployed for real in the next mission, where he'll catch up with the others. It's just that his promotion is going to be delayed by a chapter, so I'll have to do slightly more for him later to help him master Fighter.
Thanks so much.
Did the trick.
Much needed.
Leonie will have to work on her lance rank in time for the mission in Chapter 4, because she'll need Knight Kneeler there.
Let's try.
Thanks.
Finally, Byleth finishes the boss. That's enough to take him to level 7. An extra level's worth of stats will be pretty helpful considering just how hard he'll have to work in the next map, when we enter the Holy Tomb, face the Death Knight for the first time, and earn our first relic weapon. See you there, and keep in mind that by subscribing, you make my subscriber count go up.